Hi, I'm Judy Griffin, and this is Aroma Health Texas. Today we're looking at some breathing conditions and simple, effective essential oils you can use to get results for symptoms. Now, I tried to put in a few we haven't talked about before, and so we'll learn something new. The most used essential oil is eucalyptus. Eucalyptus essential oil opens the chest and the sinuses. It guards against infection. It's very drying. So if somebody has a dry cough, I wouldn't use eucalyptus. Maybe just one whiff or something to kind of open up the sinuses, because it removes excess fluid. And if you have a dry cough, you don't have any fluid. But you can get a whiff of it, and keep in mind with eucalyptus, it's very highly toxic, so you don't want to ingest it. Eucalyptus lozenges and such are not made with the eucalyptus essential oil. When you heat an essential oil, it just goes up in the air, so they use a different type of eucalyptus oil for cough drops. And eucalyptus is toxic to pets, even breathing it, so be careful with that. Be careful with young children, nursing and pregnant mothers. It is an allergic essential oil. It can cause skin rashes, usually is just all it causes. And it blends well with lemon and lemongrass. It just kind of boosts its properties. If you're using a blend of eucalyptus or for breathing and using eucalyptus, you only need about 5 drops, maybe 6 to an ounce. You do not need to use 12 to 18 drops in an ounce of carrier oil with eucalyptus, because it's very, very strong. So another one you might use, because not everybody can handle eucalyptus, is Sweet Annie. Sweet Annie is an artemisia. All artemisias are toxic internally, okay? Sweet Annie, I haven't really seen any toxicity with it just smelling it. It has a wonderful smell. It's much better than the other artemisias. It also helps to reduce fluids in the lungs and the sinuses, and it's very protective with coughs and congestion. It helps to move and drive that out of the lungs, and it helps to reduce the possibility of infection. It works on all respiratory conditions and has for centuries. It's used as an anti-cancer property, and it helps and has been used with COVID, and it's definitely used with malaria in third world countries for a very long time. And it smells wonderful. You may also use Roman chamomile, which is not one we usually use for lungs and congestion, but it helps to transfer and move fluids in the lungs and sinuses. It helps to prevent or helps people who have pneumonia to overcome those symptoms. It's much milder, and eucalyptus is pretty strong, but Roman chamomile is not that strong. It's a milder scent, so it may work better for people. You can use it with firs and with lavender. What I like about Roman chamomile is it also is supporting the liver and digestion at the same time. When you get sick somewhere in your body, especially your lungs, you need to support other major functions in your body, because your energy is going to go down there. You don't get, if you stub your toe, it's one thing, but when your lungs are involved, your whole immune system is down. So you definitely want to support the other major organs, and Roman chamomile can be good for that. Again, you don't need 12 to 18 drops in an ounce. You may try 5 or 6 at first. You can always add more. And especially if you're going to add some fir or lavender, you see how much you need at one time. More is not necessarily better with essential oils. And we mentioned that firs and your fir trees are very good for helping to overcome lung weakness, and it's very protective. This is very important, especially for elderly people. And you can use the firs with eucalyptus, with Ravintsara, which we'll talk about in a minute, and with lavenders. So it blends very well. It's very uplifting to the lungs. Now, thyme and or oregano can be used to lower infection if you have that tendency. You only need 1 or 2 drops of these because they are very, very potent and could just overwhelm the person. And I would combine the thyme or the oregano with fir or with Ravintsara. Ravintsara is the next one we're going to work on, and it is Ravintsara. It just helps the immune system, and it's very specific for the lung function in the body. It has, it's a tree, so it has a, pleasant smell to it, but it's not an overwhelming smell, and it blends well with many other essential oils. It helps to clear the lungs, but also the lymph glands and the throat. So it's got another element in there, and if we're building a blend, we can always add a few drops of Ravintsara. Ravintsara for colds, flus, viruses, all those kind of things is excellent as a preventative as well as helping to overcome symptoms. And the last one I want to talk about today, because I don't want to overdo it, like I usually do, is lavender. We've talked about lavender a lot, but it's important, and you probably have it in your repertoire. So you can always pull out your lavender. You can enjoy the smell. It helps asthmatics, most asthmatics. Again, they have to have a whiff to see how their body's going to react. It helps coughs and respiratory infection, and it helps bronchitis. It helps whooping cough. Helps symptoms of whooping cough, and that's something we don't really have in these necessarily in these other essential oils. So you can see how that can come in and add another element to another level of how we can help the lungs. Keep in mind that lavender is estrogenic. You don't want to use it with little kids. You don't want to use it with people on Taxol or estrogen-reducing drugs, or if they have a hormone, especially a hormone type of breast cancer. So, and even men, a good part of the population has a great sensitivity to estrogen. So even men can have a reaction to too much estrogen or too often, and they can grow breasts. So it's just something you have to work with, and you don't necessarily have to use a lot of lavender, and that helps. And if you want, or you should actually, read a blog on my website called The 4 Most Medicinal Fragrant Lavenders. 4 Most Medicinal Fragrant Lavenders. There's a lot of information in there because different lavenders are good for different things, and you can get we offer, I think, 4 different lavenders, and other places do too. Occasionally you'll find other producers offering not just one big slosh of all kinds of lavenders, because those very often, well, they do. They include the lower quality lavender oils, and So it's better to get the kind that you like, that you know is going to work well for you. Our website is www.aromahealthtexas.com for Most Medicinal Fragrant Lavenders. Read about it, like and share and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. We're going to go into a little more about cancer research, because I've done quite a bit of work with that in hospitals over the past 45 years. Thank you for coming and being my teachers. Bye-bye.